Alright guys, what's going on? John back here with another vlog, staying consistent with it for you guys and for myself because I feel like I've been slacking on myself. So I'm going hard with these vlogs and I couldn't be doing this without somebody really special to me, and that'd be Tasha. This is my girlfriend and she's the one that's been helping me edit all my videos and helping me actually push me to make videos, because without her, I wouldn't be making content for you guys. So everybody go thank Tasha in the comments for editing my videos and filming me and watching me say silly things, because without her, none of this would be happening. So let's get on with the show. Today we're going to be going over everything that you need to know before you boost your BRZ.
And I'm gonna prove to all the haters out there that this thing's not as slow as everybody says it is.
Whether it's supercharging it or turboing it. In my case, I turboed mine. So I'm basically gonna explain to you guys the steps I took in order to go ahead and turbo my BRZ. I hope you guys learned something from this video. It's not a specific guide, but I hope that maybe you can take away a thing or two from it that'll maybe help you out. Give you guys some reps. Yeah. Alright, let's hope we don't scrape here. Now we're driving the BRZ. We're gonna go to a location where I can talk a little bit more about it, pop the hood, and then we can dive right into this video. In the meantime, you can enjoy some little boosty noises throughout the neighborhood here. I don't want to cause too much of a ruckus because this thing is kind of obnoxious and loud. I'll go over everything that I have done to it as well, if you guys like the sound of it. I know everybody loves the blow-off valve. Just to get that out of the way, it's a Turbo Smart blow-off valve. Everybody seems to always ask that. Nice and wide there, bud. That's Deborah. She comes around often. Oh, there goes Debbie. Just pulling up to the spot here. Let's get to talking, shall we? Oh, a different alternator or something? I don't know. Please comment what it is. I don't know what this is. Follow me on TikTok, BRZ John. I'm gonna talk about, like I said, some things that you need to know before you go ahead and boost your BRZ 86, FRS, whatever it is.
First of all, if it was so slow, why would 3 companies make the same car?
Alright, so first off, I'm going to show you guys what I have done, and then I'm going to go into some other points. So here I have my stock block FA20 original motor that came into my car. Right now it's about 40k miles. Yeah, 40k miles right now. When I boosted it, it had, I think, like 30. About that. So I've been boosted for about 10,000 miles right now on the stock block FA20. Now I have the JDL turbo kit, which you can get right from JDL themselves. They make a very high quality turbo kit. Would definitely recommend. 10 out of 10. Jesse makes some fantastic turbo kits. I went with this kit over the Greddy or the SPD kit just because I heard so many good things about this. And also there's like a Facebook group that you can join, the JDL Facebook group, and they have endless amounts of questions and answers that you guys can find about this kit, everything you need to know. What I have done to my kit specifically is it has a bronze Cerakoted downpipe on it, if you want to look at that right there. Cerakoted hot parts in general. And then it has a GT2860 RS turbo, so it's a little spoolie boy. A Disco Potato, that's actually the name for it. Other than that, I just have a Mishimoto oil cooler. I have a Mishimoto catch can in the back. Going into things that I recommend before you go ahead and boost your BRZ is, number one, to make sure that your car is in good running order. Make sure that your engine is healthy and you know it's not going to blow. If you're going to build the motor, then this really isn't an issue for you, because once you build it, you should be set to build as much boost as you want. You can get 400 wheel easily if you build your motor. Like I said, personally, I did not build my motor and I'm making 300 wheel right now on 10 PSI and 12 PSI. That's pretty good for me. I mean, when you think about these cars, you think about power to weight. 2,700 pounds, 300 wheel, and like 260 torque, and this thing moves, you know? It's not really, the fastest car in a straight line, even with it boosted. It's pretty quick, but, it's not going to be the fastest. But in the turns, it's honestly unbeatable. You let me know what car is going to keep up with this besides, like, a Porsche. Definitely got to look at your motor before you go ahead and boost it. So maybe do, like, some compression tests or whatever, see how your motor is before you go ahead and boost. Next thing I'm going to say is make sure that you actually, plan out what you want to get. If you want to get a turbo, or if you want to supercharge it. Now, obviously there's pluses to both. With a supercharger, you're gonna have more instant power and like torque. With a turbo, it'll be a bit laggier. With my turbo specifically, there's not really much lag because it's a smaller turbo, but I don't really mind it. The reason why I personally went with a turbo over a supercharger was because I like the sound a lot better, honestly, and I feel like you can push a little bit more power with a turbo. I know you can push good power with a supercharger, but I just felt like there was more room for expanding, I guess. Next thing that you really want to know or need to know before you boost your BRZ 86 FRS, whatever it is that you're going to need to have some type of budget. When I set out to do this, I was, I guess, young. I was financially irresponsible, and you know, I bought a BRZ FRS 86, whatever, and you know, they're decent money. There could be anywhere from like 15 to 25K. Luckily, I got this one for like 16K. So I blew out like my whole bank account when I was like 19 or like 20. Blew out my whole bank to cop this car because it was my dream car. That's what I did. It was something I wanted to do. Did the same thing when I got a turbo kit. You know, I was working my job at Best Buy and I was making money, some type of money. I saw that you can get this turbo kit for like 5K. I think it was like 4,800 is what I paid for it. So I was like, bet, like, buy now, right? You're gonna need to set aside definitely some cost for when you get this, because it's not all just like, all right, 4,800 bucks, like that's it. Like, you're gonna need other little miscellaneous things before you can just throw it all on. Like, I'm just saying. So basically, if I was gonna boost my car again, I would definitely set a budget of at least anywhere from like $5,500 to $6,500, realistically speaking. Just because, yeah, the turbo kit itself, you can maybe get 4 to 5K, but there's also just other things that you need in order to make it perfect, and just like other like little stuff. Like I did personally, I did an oil cooler. You don't need an oil cooler, but I personally did one, especially for like hot days in the summer, or if you track your car, definitely recommend an oil cooler. If you're just you know, driving and you live up in the Northeast and it's mostly cool most of the times, then maybe you don't need one. Another thing, obviously, definitely oil catch can. You definitely want an air oil separator or catch can, because that is a big plus, especially when you're boosted. You want that. That's really that for what I did. And then another thing is, obviously, you need a good tune. So a tune itself is going to cost you upwards of $1,000 if you're going to get a good tune. I personally went with HRI Tuning, and he helped me out big time with tuning this thing and making it absolutely perfect. I've ran this exact tune for about 10,000 miles plus now, and haven't had any hiccups with it. The only issue I've ever had with this thing, just as of recent, I actually had a P000B code, which was the OCV, oil control valve. That's what it was. And it was right down here. The exhaust oil control valve is this piece right here. If you could see it, silver. It took me literally like 5 minutes to replace, and boom, code's gone. Apparently it's a big issue with some of these cars, and people get plagued with it. Luckily, it was just that for me. Another thing that you might want to do, you might want to invest in some gauge pods. I have oil pressure, AFR, and boost. Boost is kind of like a novelty gauge pod. You don't really need boost, but I have all three of those. Oil pressure, definitely a plus to have. Obviously boost, cool, whatever. And then AFR is obviously another really big thing, because it's going to tell you if your car is running lean or if you have any issues with it. Shout out to the USPS man coming into the video. Let's have a roll race, buddy. What do you say? I might lose. Those things make quite a bit of torque. Oh, he's ripping down. Yeah, I'll show you guys actually my gauge pod setup in here. I know a lot of you guys are gonna ask right now. Otaku gang right here. This is cheese, yes. Everybody always asks me on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok where I got the stickers. Otaku gang. That's where I got it. Anyways, moving on to the interior here. These are my AEM gauge pods. We got the boost gauge here, AFRs, and oil pressure. And before you guys ask, this is a Block 8 head gauge pod here. I got it off of their website, and they also have an Instagram that you guys could check out, Block 8 head. And then this is literally just like a little vent one, takes out the vent and looks super OEM. Same with this thing, so that's cool. Other than that, you don't need gauge pods. You can actually use like your phone if you use EcuTech to tune it. I personally used EcuTech, but I don't really want to use my phone, so I got the gauge pods. Super easy to hook up though. Would recommend for sure. Next thing you need to know, when you boost your BRZ, I'm just gonna say BRZ from now on because I have BRZ, you're gonna have to change the oil every 3,000 miles, just to be safe. I do at least. So you could be expecting to spend a decent amount of money on oil changes, especially if you're gonna run some good quality oil. I personally run Motul oil in mine, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's like OW20. I could be completely wrong. Honestly, don't remember. I'd have to check. Definitely don't cheap out on oil. You gotta put some good oil into this thing. Always use your Subaru OEM oil filter, guys. If I see you running a Fram or some BS oil filter, I swear I'm gonna flame you. It's OEM or nothing. Anyways, sorry, I got a little heater right there. Let's bring it back. So, does anybody else deal with this? Like, bro, who designed this? What engineer designed that in Subaru or Toyota? Like, bro, what? Why? Take them out. We don't need them. They suck. Next thing I want to talk about is about the actual turbo. One thing you got to know, or need to do, at least personally I think, is definitely invest in a turbo blanket. They're not that expensive. If you're already blowing like 4 to 5K on a turbo kit, why not cop a turbo blanket? Keep things a little bit cooler in there. Your turbo gets super hot, so definitely get one of those. Also use some gloves while you're installing it because that has fiberglass all over it. Me and my friend Dave learned that the hard way. We were looking at our hands about 5 minutes later, thinking like, dang, our hands hurt a little bit. We weren't sure why. We took our phones out real quick, looking at our hands, and we had a bunch of glass shards on our hands. So, you know, from my mistake. Now, other than that, there's not much, you know, that's really all there is. The main points are, you know, you really just gotta have some type of money here. You gotta use your financial knowledge here and not go broke boosting your BRZ, especially if you need a new motor, because, you know, that's costly as well. Just spend wisely when boosting your BRZ and set aside a budget because you're gonna need that. Also, not only when you boost your car are you going to need tires and wheels, because your stock little wheels and tires that come on the car are not going to be able to handle the power that this thing is putting out. I can assure you that. Definitely invest in some like 18-inch wheels, maybe even some 17-inch wheels if you're going to track it, whatever, and some wider tires, because the little 215s that come on it, stock wheels are not going to hold this. I promise. I personally am running 255 35s all around. They are the Hankook Ventus Evo 12 7 18s. I don't even know, whatever they're called. They're really good. I like the tires. Also, if you're gonna ask, these are Titan forged wheels. Absolutely beautiful wheels. And then before I get any more comments, I'm just gonna go over the side skirts, the lip, because everybody always asks that too. This is the STI front lip. It's not an actual authentic lip. It's a Basin R STI like rep lip. I scraped the heck out of it, so I wasn't gonna get the carbon one. These are APR carbon side skirts, APR carbon mirrors. Then we roll around to the back. OLM carbon spats, Valenti tail lights, Tomei exhaust, Mod Bargains duckbill. I think it's a Tomei cover thing for the whole. Oh, BRZ John, I make these stickers, guys. If you need an Instagram sticker, hit me up in the DMs or TikTok or YouTube sticker, something. Here, shout out to So Scared for this dope sticker. And their dope hoodie. Okay, not sponsored, but should be. VLAN headlights, in case you guys didn't know. Fly One Motorsport carbon roof cap. If you haven't watched the video, go check it out. Just uploaded it yesterday. Video is right here. Password JDM strut bar right here. Pretty sick. Gold hardware by Z-Spec. I basically just went over my whole build in a matter of like 5 seconds. That's where we're gonna end this video. I hope you guys learned something, maybe from me rambling on and talking about this. If you guys enjoy the video, go ahead and leave a like. Go ahead, comment any questions you guys have down below. Be more than happy to help you guys out. DM me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok at BRZ John for both. That can help you out. I hope you guys enjoyed, like I said, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, and peace.
Now I'm here in the comments. Just kidding. Never mind. I was gonna say count how many times he says nonetheless, but I edit them out anyway.
But nonetheless, there's all nonetheless, but nonetheless, I have nonetheless. So nonetheless,